Well, it's been at least a good 7 years now. I think I've been trading this Forex maybe 8 years. I'm not sure that my very first experience, very first trade, but I posted this uh, video on YouTube called Forex Demo. So I'm going to try to keep, whenever I post the Forex Demo account, and update what's going on with this. And it's kind of a controversial way to trade, only from the standpoint of I'm just taking a page out of the Disciplined Trader book by or all of the seminars, and taking the essence of Mark Douglas's approach to the market. And this is the disturbing thing for people that are into predicting the market, is that you don't know what's you don't gosh, I can't hardly say this, some of these tongue twisters. You don't have to know where the market's going to make money. And I guess even fill in the blank when it's gonna get there, what it's gonna do. And now this demo account, well, that's a very hard thing to accept, and it was for me for quite a bit of time, because if you want to go to the grocery store tonight and get some food, you got to know where you're going. I mean, the problem being is that trading does not fit into the category of normal life. And I jokingly refer to serial killers as being great trade. Like, if you could get prisoners in prison to trade forex accounts, they do very well because they have no conscience. And what I find is that people with good conscience and well-meaning, the road to hell is paved with good intention. I'd say the road to getting stopped out is paved with good money management. So if you're not getting out of a trade when you know that, like, say you got in a trade and you're like, well, I'm going to do what they said, I'm going to move my stop break even, and they trounce you and you leave however many pips on the table, and people will hearken to the phrase that rolls around in their head, well, I have to be a disciplined trader and I have to do do my duty to my. I mean, I took an oath to trade my system. And so this person here has asked me about um, demo versus real money, and this whole thing about demo versus real money. There are I don't know how many professional traders, but I've heard, and it makes sense to me that, and being a professional trader, I'm going to say for myself, I'm always trading demos simultaneously with my real money. And another thing you can do is, if you are trading a demo, and of course this takes a little bit of a nerdy kind of, you have to be a little bit of a, um, you have to have a, people talk about, I have a passion for trading, right? A passion for trading. Well, having a passion for pulling a trigger on a trade, hitting a button, Mark Douglas would tell you anybody can press a button and buy and sell. So having a passion for trading, or having a passion for execution, does nothing unless you have the other elements. So the passion should be in orchestrating your whole, I guess, well, if you just limited the finances that you spend on trading, your passion should be the drudgery. So you should have a passion for taking the garbage to the curb, because you still exist to do that. You might have passion for eating the meal that you ate, and people don't. I don't want to clean up. In trading, this passion that people have, it's just worthless unless you use it to do the really brutal task of. And people like to talk about profits, but they don't like to talk about losses. And you know, um, I've been doing this for a long time, trading and looking at the markets, and I always avoided uh, the I don't want to lose. So if you don't focus on the losses, somehow they'll just be okay. But if you worry about the losses, the profits take care of themselves. There's a bunch of tired saws, tired phrases, cliches out there. Some of the stuff's correct, some of the stuff doesn't fit your trading style, and you have to get rid of those things, or you have to just realize that they do exist and work around them. If you're going to run a demo account, So I'm running this demo account here, and I held all positions that were over the weekend. I got out of the winners I was in. So right now I could just hit this key and get out of these two Canadian dollar trades. It's all 1K. Everything in this account's at 1K. So I just reduced my margin, now only down $10. So I'm trying to bring this count up. I actually traded the guppy on here. It's a demo account. I didn't want to reload everything, so I'm running a demo account that I took a big loss. It started at 10,000. I took a big hit on the guppy, on the pound against the yen, because I was experimenting. And so I'm always experimenting on demos. And a nice thing about demo trading that's kind of a mental trick is that if you are trading on demo and you're losing, and if you say the market's dropping and you're like, I know this is a good trade because the overall scheme of this market, or if of course when people say trend is completely when you say I'm a trend trader, it's really time frame dependent. So this guy here says that that my system works on all time frames. Yeah, because my system isn't about, at least on this account, my premise is that if I place my orders at the round numbers, not in Fibonacci's or the extensions of Elliott Wave or Gartley's or whatever have you, tea leaves, that I just got filled on real money. I had a sell limit sitting on the euro dollar on the north side of the euro versus the pound at the round number. Market opens, I'm up in the trade, and I scalped out of that because I think the euro is going up against the pound later on. But having the scalp order in there, having the tchotchkes at the checkout aisle, if you're really a business, if you really think trading's a business, and I have a book that costs $150 by Joe Ross, and it's called Trading is a Business. And you've heard all this crap. Oh yeah, but I mean, and if you have a business, say you do own a retail outlet, you'd probably be a better trader if you were to analogize that your inventory are your tickets, waiting to get filled, waiting for customers to come in and bite on your tickets. There's many ways to present the market to yourself so that you can make money, that you can make it fit. So I would say that if I was going to show somebody how to trade, I would ask them what they do for a living, and I would try to take the elements of what they have been successful at and take the things from trading. And trading isn't just about looking for the Holy Grail or looking for, this. And you can make more money counter trend trading than trend trading if you know how to trade. And let's not forget that if you really want to do, there's like the Sharpie ratio. When people really pick apart the statistics on their trading, are they taking into account the fact that they're locking up margin in a trend trade that they could be using somewhere else? So say you owned McDonald's in one of your franchises, say you own 40, you have a branch of stores and you have your nameplate up there. Some stores are losing money, some stores are making money, but you kind of know that going in. The thing with a demo account is people will say, oh, well, the demo account doesn't tailor. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's going to be spread issues. If the demo is running on ECN, which is the premium spread rate that broker offers, the demo, when you open up a micro account, you may have a fixed spread, you may have a shitty spread. You're at the mercy of whatever, but you can't blame your losses on the spread. You know that you're paying a little bit more because you're not depositing 10 grand and trading ECNs with almost a zero spread, but you got to trade a mini or bigger, and it goes with the territory, right? So you just can't be that. You have to realize that, if you buy the high-end car, you got to put the high-end fuel in it. So the demo account, and so I'm going to try to behave and keep this going. And some of the reason that I'm not going, there's no secret to trading. Let's just get that out of the way. There's no secret. And so there's a perception. Well, another thing is that, say I make a bunch of money in this demo, and people will say, well, you made all that money because it wasn't real money and you took risky trades that made money. Another way around that is that what if I took and opened up one of these, I think it's FX Book and FX Blue, and all these people have like copy trades. There was one called Currency, which I actually met the guys from that, and that was buffoonery. I think they went out of business. They would copy trades and stuff, and I'm like, even the copy trades aren't going to work because there's a lag before execution. But I'm not talking about trading at the market. That's for people that are scalping. There's no necessity to trade at the market. It's impulsive behavior from the standpoint of you feel you're missing out, you're going to buy here and all that jazz. But yeah, the demo, professional traders running demos while they're running real money. So if you have a really bad habit of losing and you've wiped out the demo and you've wiped out 3 demos, when I first started trading, I was trading the British pound as it was dropping. That's right when I started, when the British pound was coming off the highs from, go way back to, the pound against anything here. So if you go back to the monthly chart, this is 2008 or something, right here when the British pound was falling apart, and I was buying into this, and the market's dropping. So it's a good 8 years I've been trading. I started trading demos, and I'm like, wow. But it was $50,000 account. I blew it up within about 3 hours or 3 days, and I'd blow up 3 in a row. And I thought, man, if I was only selling this thing, my God, I'd be killing it. And of course, I was just pulling the trigger on standard lots without a stop, without a take profit. I just wanted to see what happened. I actually thought it was I didn't think it was possible to trade without paying exchange fees and data feeds. But Forex has to be I see a lot of people are figuring it out. That's the only way to really make money, sitting at home with your hands, without any really greasy, it's not like a nut and bolt thing. But getting under the hood here, it is about, so I have these single drops. I posted some of these single drops in the videos that I'm running, and there's nothing magical here at all. This is a trade plan, I guess you could say. I'd call this a trade plan. I was just I was doing a video earlier, had a problem with the audio, so it was all about about the $20,000 I spent on education and the history of learning stuff. And a lot of these terms you hear people say, well, do you have an edge in the market? Do you have a strategy? And all these things. And it's just kind of like vague. Like, what do you mean by that? You have to unpack that for me. Like, what do you mean? Well, here's a trade plan. We're going to risk 30 pips. I risk 15 to make 30. This is a double your money trade plan. And this lasts for a whole week. So I'm placing these right now in the demo. And what it is, it's this stupid. And this is how simple it is. Like here, I missed this entry here. Now this is the, I don't know if these orders, I'm trading like, God, 20 currencies on this thing. Now, this is how simple this trade plan is that you just buy new lows here. So I'll replace this order again because we'll probably come back. It looks like this trade's really big, so here's the risk 50 to make 100, and I'll just put my order right at the round number, 50 pip stop, right around the hundreds. And what do you think the chances are that this market, this is the pound Australia, is going to come back to the 100-yard line? This is what I call gridiron trading. This is the aerial view of a football field. Well, infinite football field of, if this is 100 yards, at the 100-yard line, you have double bottom, you have a retest here, and this is my favorite trade, is comes back to this doji, and you just make your 100 pips with a 50 pip stop, trade's over. Just like this. These wicks are the trade. This is where you're going to pay. This is the tchotchke at the checkout. You can make, they say gas stations aren't charging much for gas because they're hoping you come in the store to get, and that's why they have cash discounts. It could be also be the fact there's processing fees on credit cards, but when they get you in that store to buy overpriced candy while you're filling up the car, that's where they make their money. They don't make their money selling gas, or when they just set up a booth and sell gas, like in Europe where a guy falls asleep in the afternoon in Italy because he's like they sell petrol there. I mean, why wouldn't they just have a booth there or a robot? Like a RoboCop running the gas station because they're making their money off the little stuff. And people say, "Well, scalping." I'm like, just watch this guy, this dude, man, bro guy, and he's got people. He's got in a trading room. He's telling people stuff like, "Well, if you're scalping, you can really get hurt." I'm like, "Yeah, because people scalp big." Who says you have to scalp big? There's no rules. Okay, so you're making up all your rules you're making up your own rule book. But I understand people want to go out and seek, and I spent a lot of time and energy and money seeking to say what I came away with every time that I leave one of these courses or spend time with a top trader and I lunch with these people and I really just funded my own education. Always came away thinking, am I that person? Am I really a trader? Like something a friend of mine here, a musician friend of mine, he goes, "I want to be a trader." I goes, "Oh, you want to wear a suit and a jacket?" And I want to be, I want to kind of get more sophisticated and be one of those people that you see in a suit and tie and they're making money. And I guess this is the view of Wall Street, right? So we've all got these biases and these things that we have in our heads. And the way we think it is going to be when we get there. And I'm sure if you asked any famous person, is this how you thought it would be? They like, I had no idea it was going to be so ridiculous. I would have never become famous. And if I was making $1 million trading, or I was making $1 billion trading, or I was making $10,000 trading every month, would it really change my life? I mean, I'd probably have the same maybe I have a little bit higher quality coffee in the morning, but I'd probably just still drinking coffee. I don't think it would drastically change my life. So this idea that making money is somehow going to be your salvation is ridiculous too, because you could just be miserable as hell all day long, just because everywhere you go, there you are, alcoholic creed, and so this thing about the demos now, I know people will paper trade on their demo, test their system, and so say you're running the demo in the real money and you're losing on the demo, and you're like, okay, I can see that the market's finally going to go up now. So you can use your demo as like that's your rent-a-car, and you can abuse that. And your real money you're very careful with, and you're like, okay, looks like a good setup here. And if you do that often enough, what's going to happen is when you go place a trade, you're not going to think, oh, this is fake money and this is real money. After a while, you're not going to know the difference of which kids are yours and which kids you adopted. So the idea that there's some type of, that you would behave differently, like they say dance like nobody's watching. So you trade like it's all real money. You really have to trade like it's all real money. And this is how they say you're supposed to open a demo with $300, but let's be realistic. If you're testing a scheme, and your balance starts at 10 grand, which I started this one at 10 grand because it's a metric that I can see easily, that if I'm above 10 grand, the 9 shows up and I'm like, uh-oh, we're already losing. Of course, you're losing the moment you pull the trigger, so you have to also be a good loser. Or you just have to figure this is shipping and handling on your trades. Like, you cannot get a product sent to your house, even if it's free on Amazon. Like, you'll see stuff on Amazon for 3 cents. The shipping's $2 still. So there's no free shipping. There's no commission. When they say commission free, the spread's wide to make up for that. So the demo is kind of a little bit of a, it's going to make you look like a better trader only because you're probably getting the tightest spread that broker offers in the giant $100,000 or $50,000 or $10,000 demo. But I do think that people have this. The other things, what this guy says is demo versus real account. Now, it's more like 10 demos versus 10 real accounts. And once it gets to like that, you're not going to be able to. You'd probably say, oh, this is real money. I feel bad about that loss, but what happens psychologically after a while, if you're trading real money, demo money, you feel bad about the demo losing money. So these feelings is what you're trying to get in touch with. You're trying to make it so that you can trade like Data or Spock from Star Trek. You're trying to make it so that you are an EA. You're your own EA. And you don't really put much weight on the fact that like, I just think it's a bad approach. Now, I know that these people at Empowered Trading and stuff, they have subscribers. People are hungry for what should I do? You typically don't see this when you go to the showroom. Like, people go to the showroom to buy a car. They don't say, what should I do? Even though that car they're buying is different than the other car they bought. They're like, it's got a steering wheel, it's got a brake. Unless it's an automatic transmission versus a manual, there's not too much different. Although I drove a car recently that has the gear shifter is on the steering wheel. That was a little disturbing. You just had this little thing you hit. I'm like, what if I bump my knee and just drop it in the first? And kind of like that. It looked a little flimsy. Plus the electronic entries where you lose a key and you're down $380 because you got to buy a new electronic entry key system. But so the trading thing with the demos, it is funny because when you feel yourself freaking out because you're losing in a demo, you go, oh, it's a demo, relax. And also, you'll realize when you run at least more than one demo that every broker has their own thing, and you can also do arbitrage. Say you've got a demo account running at Dusky or whatever they call it. You find the best ECN broker, the most prestigious, open a demo account there and watch their tick chart. Then open up a retail account at a broker that has a bad server connection, a slow millisecond. You can see if you click on your MT4 down in the corner, you'll pop up all the different data feeds. So it's gonna find the fastest one it can. But see, this is 265 milliseconds. If your ECN's running, it's 60 milliseconds on in New York. And since there is no trading pit, if the high-end broker that the demo account is that you can't afford to dump $1 million into is going up, and you're on one instrument, just buying your retail thing. So you could use the demo to arbitrage with real money too. And the arbitrage isn't as good as it used because the servers are getting faster. We have solid-state drives. We have fiber connections, but it's still there. There's still an edge, speaking in terms of arbitrage edge out there. But the demo thing, people kind of, and the thing is, you can have, I've got about 10 demos running and 10 real accounts, so there's 20. I can run a different strategy. The other thing you could do is take your demo trades, and this is very complicated. You do a copy thing, copy that out to another demo account, and you can experiment with exits. So maybe you can enter on one account, exit the other, but then that's where the energy comes from, the passion of that you really love trading. You're like, okay, let's open another account. I talked to a few traders where they married their broker. They literally married their broker. I mean, they're like, oh no, and they feel like this loyalty or something. I don't know what it is. But these brokers don't. It's not like walking into some brokerage firm and shaking a guy's hand. I don't have any. To me, it's just a server, and a lot of these brokers won't talk to me. They won't chat with me. They won't talk to me. Very few brokers get on the phone with you, and if you talk to them, I don't know how they, they don't care. They're not going to rig the markets for you to make more money. I don't know why this thing's not moving. I don't see my balance changing. I'm connected. And so and you'll see that another thing to consider here is that if you're going to test a strategy with scripts that are automated, that if your broker lets you trade inside the spread, the only way to find out is to right mouse click on the screen and go to trading and go to new order and go to pending, and here this broker will let me trade inside the spread because it says opening price must differ from market price by at least 0 pips. Now if it said 1 pip, which means in a 5 decimal broker, that's a tenth of a pip. That means, that's a tenth of a pip. If this says 10, it means 1 pip. On a 5 decimal broker, most people are trading 5 decimals. Another thing you could do is open up a 4 decimal broker. It's going to look a lot more. When people drill down to a 5-minute and a 1-minute time frame, I don't think they realize that you have 10 times the resolution. You're looking at a scale. You just went to a you just 10 times increase the resolution of the market. So you're going to see all these tops and bottoms and wicks, and look at all these different prices. You run a 4-digit broker, and brokers still have it. Open up a 4-digit broker. It looks like a normal market, and you're going to say, look, there's no manipulation here. It's nice and smooth data, and I can trade. And yeah, because when the market moves 0.5 of a pip, that broker's prices do not change. You're not going to get stopped out, and you're not going to. So every broker's different, and the demo's not like the real account. And even if you had 2 real accounts with the same broker and did a copy trade, and you traded at the market, different fills, nothing is perfectly. So if you're a perfectionist, if you're looking for this landscape of, and it's just the people that complain about trading have never traded 20 years ago when, I can open an account in Forex for what the commissions are of trading commodities 20 years ago. So nobody should be complaining about slippage or anything like that. And of course, the news comes out. We're all expecting slippage right now. Spreads are tightening up, so we're coming into market's been out for a while here. So if this actually said here, you got to place your orders 10 pips away. Now the worst brokers, and it's not the worst broker, but a retail broker way down the pecking order, way away from ECN, all this. What do they call it? No dealing desk execution. I never really thought anybody was watching my trades going, well, let that trade go through. Oh my God, who could monitor that? So that's always going to be. But the broker's not trading against you. Even the crappy brokers aren't trading against you. You're trading against your hopes and fears. It's you. So here I might get a refill on this. Now, this is the trade plan. You're going to risk 50 to make 100 pips, and this is all week long here. So if this drops, and look how well this makes money. And you can just look back here and see if you bought at the 100 with a 50 stop, you made your 100. If you sold at the 100 with a 50 stop, you didn't make 100, but you made. So maybe you have a trade plan that risks 30 to make 60. You sell at the 100, you almost make your 100. You buy at the 100, you almost, see, if 80% of the market is noise, this is the 1 hour pound Australia, who's making money here? The guy that's got his Gartley all queued up and, damn it, I missed my entry. You can go back and watch Akil Stokes say, we missed our target by 3 pips, we missed our entry by 3 pips. for some of these currency brokers and instruments, that's the spread you're complaining about. Are you kidding me? This is why I just go ballistic. And I may not sound like an old person, but I'm 58 years old, and I've been trading a lot of instruments. I've been trading demos. I would say, well, I wake up in the middle of the night and I trade. So I've been trading Forex straight like a crack whore on demos and real money for 7 years. And so I've seen the industry change. I've seen the spreads tighten. I've seen all kinds of moves. I've traded them on demos. I've written scripts to capture a 15-minute spike. And but in the end, it comes down to, well, I did a video like a year ago, and some guy said, I love that, but I could never trade like that. I could never trade the way you're trading. You could just trade stop entry. I'm going to do a video later about stop entry mechanical trading that I stumbled across this guy who's selling a course for $495, and he kind of he changes his entry technique, and he shows you. First, he trades at the market and goes, see how that loses? See how this doesn't work? And then he goes and he trades on stop entry, which is confirmation style entry. We'll have to assume that anybody that puts a buy stop here is saying, I think the market's going to continue going, so I want to get picked up on that stop. And so they're saying, I will put my order 1 pip above here. If this is really going up, and granted, given the wide enough stop, you are going to make money on that, and it is going to work out. They can still trap you here and rape you, and you'll get whipsaw. You get caught up in that. So there is no perfect entry, but the stop entry thing is a mechanical system. I mean, you can build an EA now with that. You could not back in the old days. There's no way in hell. And so the guy here is asking me about the perception of this, and definitely your view, what you feel about a demo account, and I don't know why this demo account's not moving. I don't see any price. My balance is not changing here. I don't know if it's. I don't get it. Markets are open, right? Anyways, maybe there's just I just never seen it. Usually this hasn't got to be moving. I don't know. But that's not the point. I mean, it's published to this. I put the link in here, so I'll just keep repeating the link in every demo update I do. But a lot of people want to look on the internet for things, and they're like, let me come across something new. So this guy's saying that he found heaps of rubbish, and I'm assuming this guy's from Britain just because of rubbish and cheers. But he says info surrounding this area of things. Well, there's a lot of rubbish about trading only because people that it's a giant industry. Like when you go into a recording studio, it's not a. There's a guy that all he does is come in and calibrate equipment, and he might be responsible for why it's a Grammy-winning album because he tweaked the room or something. So there's a million people making money on stuff. I just feel bad when I see people think. Of course, we all have to go through the journey where we buy a course, and I've spent thousands of dollars. I'd say probably 20 grand on my learning, but it always came down to, do I feel comfortable trading another guy's style, even if he's making $1 million? And then, do I feel comfortable making $1 million? I met a guy once at a seminar, and he was afraid if he made too much money, he was going to have to move to a nicer house, and his friends were going to say, "Oh, must be nice," and he'd lose all his friends would. So he would sabotage his account to get him back, so he didn't leave all his neighborhood friends. But it's the old crab story, right? the crabs are going to pull. If you want to leave the pot of crabs, the crabs are going to pull you back in, because there's going to be people going to miss you and stuff. God, is this market even trading? I'm going to bring up the. Anyways, thank God it's a demo account. I see stuff flickering here, but are the prices even moving? What the hell? I guess I'm in instruments that don't trade. Maybe maybe they close the markets in Australia. But here's the big obstacle. So the guy's saying that what I'm talking about works in all time frames. Yeah, because it's really the market. Well, the prices don't have much to do with time, as you can see here. It's just about price. And 100 pips here on these horizontal black lines. So yeah, it's very complicated, and you still have to accept the randomness. I mean, I would say random, but the market being chaotic, but you're counting on that. So here's I'm publishing to this. So here you can just place orders. This is the New Zealand dollar. So I'm going to sell up here at the round number all week long. I don't want to duplicate any orders either. This is where you have to have a checklist. Are you diversified? So here's my diversified. I'm placing all my orders at different things. I should have more. I just put the wrong order in there. It's supposed to be a sell limit up here. But I want to diversify my orders so I have different stops, I have different entries, so I'm not duplicating. Because the whole point of trading a micro account is to use the fact that it's a micro account. It doesn't make sense to trade a mini lot on a micro account. You're destroying the money management aspect of the whole system of trading. Is to scale in and scale out. To do this one trade thing, this empowered trading thing, it's just, I don't know how people do it, honestly, because if it is a really good trade, you're thinking, damn, I should have traded bigger on that. If it's a bad trade, you're like, I should have traded smaller. This answers that problem. You trade small all the time. You aim small, you miss small. You trade small, you win. If the ratios are all double your money on these. So what I buy down here, I don't think we're going to come down here, but see how these are sitting here all week long. So if the news does come out, if they slam to the round number, I'm getting in on that trade. Why am I going to get in there? Just like I would get in here. New Zealand versus, my balance isn't changing, but the market's moving. See, it's already rigged. But why would this matter? Now I could structurally place my buy limit on the daily body of this weekly doji and not really get filled. But if I place another order here along these wicks here, I get filled. And if I place an order at just at the round number, I get filled. Now you have to take some heat here of about almost 50 pips. If you held that for 3 days, you made 200 pips with a 75 pip stop, say. And you could probably say that, oh, we almost had a cipher pattern here to get in at the tip of this. But I've already got orders in a basket down here of deplorables to get picked up here. Some are scalps. Some are going to get the hell out based on this bottom, which matches this doji, which matches this doji. So the scalps are taken off. Now this percentage here, say this is 20 or 70%, you're out. You let the rest go. Now letting the rest go means that you have to let go of that. Now that psychologically can be a big problem because you're like, I'll just take my money and run. And if you do that, just like accepting losses, you have to accept your profits where they're at. There should be no difference because it's just price fluctuation. So people say let your profits run, cut your losses short. Sometimes you got to cut your profits short, because if you got in too heavy down here, because you also bought every day, every time you just had too big a crop of orders in there, it's okay to, you're not going to lose taking a profit. They say, well, the best way to lose is take a profit because you're going to get clobbered later on. No, you should not be that bad of a trader. If you have sell limits up here at the 100-yard line, this is 100 pips even, and you sell here and they stop you out, you're so good at trading. You have to be good at trading. You have to be good at identifying these. You have to be good at identifying 100 pips of movement. So all this talk about pips, I made 1,000 pips, I never see a reference. If you're a pattern trader, and how did I lose a bunch of money trading the euro versus the yen? I looked at the pattern and I go, I'm selling that. Then I looked at my balance, trading the same size. They're kicking my ass. They're blowing up my account. I'm selling up into this, unaware of. I'm pattern trading, unaware of the pips that caused that pattern. And you can't just go looking around at currency pairs like they're hot chicks you want to trade, because if you're not aware of, the guppy can move 100 pips in 3.5 minutes, you're going to have a problem. All you have to do is launch one of my hard-coded scripts. They're out there. I posted them. All my videos have it. You know how to cut and paste. You go to MetaTrader, open up this, go to Open Data folder, it's called now. You bring this up, you go into here. There's a scripts folder. Nothing in it on the, it's an empty folder actually now. There's not even a pending in there anymore. New conspiracy theory. Open that puppy up, and or no, I'm sorry. That's not how you should do it. But you could drag and drop them into there if you've already created them. You've got to go to, you either hit F4 on your keyboard, or you go up to Tools, and you go up to, see F4, Meta Quotes Language Editor, and just take and go to File. Or, I mean, go up here, go to New, go to Script, Next, name it, go to Finish. When this comes up, delete everything in here. Paste in the code that I put on the bottom of the video. When you're done with that, you hit the compile key. This should show up in your navigator. This thing compiled without any errors. There's nothing here. So this script is called O. It should show up in your list in common area under scripts. Here it is, O. If you press the enter key, you will edit that. That's your trade plan. So you could trade this on demos. You want to trade on demos to make sure it runs. And it's as simple as that. Now, the complexity of worship that surrounds trading is what creates the industry of rubbish that people buy. I would rather have a psychology trading coach than a trading coach. The problem is when, and a lot of these trading coaches, like, I'll put a link to just my favorite video about money management. It's by Van Tharp. I've taken his course, and I believe what he's saying is true. It's all about risk management. And you'll see right there, low risk idea is his first thing. You need a low risk idea. So that risk has to match your threshold for pain. if you're risking $1 to make $2, if you're not okay with that, then don't open a coffee shop. Because when you open your first coffee shop, if trading's really a business, you just bought a bunch of coffee, you just dropped $5,000 on an Italian espresso machine, you just bought a bunch of things, and I don't know how anybody does it. You just met all the regulations of opening a coffee shop, because we all know that people that open coffee shops are trying to kill people with poison coffee. Why do they even regulate these? Why does the Food and Drug Administration even look at a restaurant? If people are throwing up and getting sick, you're going to lose customers. And even in the most regulated, highly regulated things, they're fucking stuff up. What does that tell you? When, well, we had all the guns are illegal in this zone, they're breaking a law. Yeah, there's dead people. So explain that to me. But, you know, when you lose on a trade, or you win on a trade, winning can be as disturbing as losing. Especially if you win really big. Because now you might quit your job. And you're going to lose all your friends you joke with at the coffee maker in the morning. Around the coffee pot. And you're not going to be able to bring the donuts anymore and be a hero in the morning. And that's all running subconsciously in your head. You're going to blow up your trading account. Not because you don't know how to trade. So it's hard to identify when you're sabotaging yourself to get back to your comfort zone of weighing 500 pounds, even though you went on a diet and lost 300 pounds and you got a million hot babes all. You don't even have to rent babes, are coming at you. Don't forget that aspect, that you're still a human being that has decided they're going to. And this whole idea of professional trading, if you feel like you're not a professional, you're just a redneck, you're going, I'm just going to never be a professional trader. I'm just too much of a goof. Don't call it professional trading. Just call it trading. Professional means you make money from it. I got a squirrel across the street that is literally detaching every walnut from this tree right now. He's raiding the tree. My neighbor's gone. It's hilarious. I can hear these things dropping. I thought somebody's throwing something at me. His car is peppered. He's probably got damage to his car from this squirrel just raiding the tree. But look at this chart, and you tell me, in this New Zealand dollar, where are the trades? I think they're just price. And the perception that people have about the market is their projection of what they think is going on here. Now, I don't care what moving average you choose on here. I've tried them all. I've traded TradeStation. I've been trading a long time. TradeStation, ran it, spent $2,000 on the program. I built, they weren't robots back then. They were called, well, it was just kind of like a system. I tried every moving average. You could put every moving average from 1 to 100 on here. 100 moving averages on here. Which trade do you take? It's not helping you. The banks don't give a fuck about a moving average. This whole bullshit about, well, you know what the banks are doing, and they're running algorithms. Are you kidding me? Like I said, if that was true, who would be bailing the banks out if they knew what the fuck they were doing? The banks may not be trading with stops. And when this top becomes a bottom on the daily, there's a psychological reason for this happening at the 100-yard line. Because the people that sold here thinking this is resistance, when it went 100 pips against them, they got out here, which caused the market to go up. But if you didn't see this chart, you would see your balance go down. And when your balance came back to break even, you'd just get out of everything you're in and reassess it. And that's what they call them, hedge funds. Has anybody figured this out yet? It's a hedge fund because they're hedging. They're grid trading it on a hedge. They sell here, they're wrong, they got to double up and go the other way. They sell this top. It goes 100, 200 pips against them almost. When it comes back to break even, they get out. Don't forget the stubborn guy that sold here going, I don't care what you say. Now it's 300 pips against him. When it comes back to here, he's like, holy God, I'm getting out. He's fueling more buying. How about the guy that's stubborn as an ox, and he held through a month and a half. When it comes back to here, he's like, that's it, I'm really getting out. That's part of the fuel for this move. There's also the fact that the market makers are range trading this to accumulate for this move. There's all sorts of shit going on here. There's people scalping here. People are scalping the wicks. Professional trading houses and so-called this guy asked me, is there an algorithm running for a Gartley? Probably not. It's too hard to write. When this top becomes a bottom here, what do you think's going on? And this has nothing to do with Fibonacci. Damn, that just zooms in too hard. It's nothing to do with Fibonacci. It has to do with just good old round number price. Think about it. I have this friend who drinks a lot of tequila, and he would get angry at me. He'd get some tequila going in, and he'd say, think about it, think about it. And I was like, I am thinking about it. You're hammered. Double top becomes a bottom here. People that sold that, I'm not saying that's what's the total fuel of the move, but we know that this 100-yard line is a feeding zone. You can't really see the wicks here because I have so many fucking orders on here. Let me stretch that out. The wicks probing into the 100-yard line, you would have got filled at that doji. I tried to de-emphasize the wicks, but that's your entry. If your moving average system was built in some holy grail system, at this moment, with the dynamics of this market, because the market doesn't see time, it only sees price. So when the guy said your system works on a broad range of time frames, because I am not caught, it's not a system where, like if you had a really high robust system that did really well on moving averages that lasted on the 4-hour chart at a 20 EMA, you cleaned up on this down move. But this is about, we're trading price. We're not trading moving averages. You're not trading your indicators. Your indicators, it's like having a bad sensor on your car. How are you going to trust if the car is not running but the indicators on your dashboard, there's no idiot lights that came on? You blew up your car. You blew up your account. The indicators didn't save you or confirm that you're doing okay. There you go. Somebody said you should check out this Marino guy. He talks about market making and how these markets are made. And I know this doesn't look like much here, but you got to understand this is the wicks on the daily probing right around the round number. Now, if you aggressively trade within a 10 pip window around the round number, you can see how this is the way to trade. If you put a 10K here, 2.5 pips apart on every 1K. Some of these are scalps. Maybe you're out of most of the trade by here. Maybe you're out of the whole fucking trade by here. And realize this is a 50 pip winner. And some of this you got stopped out of. But what if you have a 200 pip winner built into that with a 100 pip stop? The ratio is still the same. But it's about the passion for placing orders, not the passion for trading in this, oh, I got this system, man, and I'm just going to get a 200K with I'm going to ride the fundamental news. It's not like that. If I could compress this chart, and that's what market profile is doing. If anybody studied market profile, I've studied it all, I've bought it all. I don't want to say I know it all. And people would say, oh, I suppose you know everything. No. Like, what I don't know is, and what I probably will never know, is the names and faces of the people that are trading this. Now, whether it's an algorithm or it's me trading, this is that whole kind of us against them. Because, and I had a fight with this guy on the fucking Facebook. Pile of anybody, these young people, he's telling me, well, there's only so much money in the world. There's a pie of money, and if somebody's winning, somebody's losing. It's a zero-sum game. Really. Wealth's created out of people's creativity, out of their mind. The iPhone, the gadgets that are created, somebody has an idea, and then money just comes out of nowhere. It's not, of course, he's a redistribution of wealth person thinking, well, we have to take from the rich and give to the poor because we have to level out the playing field. No, we have to make it unequal because this is Darwin's way of filtering out the fucknuts. If you're getting killed in trading, then you're trading too big for what you know. But once you, and of course the problem is that once you start to do good in trading, the tendency is to say, wow, I'm good at this, let me load up. But always be aware of the fact that whatever you're using to get that, and this is an objective view of the market. If I could compress this like market profile all the way down, you would see it's just about price. It's just about, well, this is a lower price, this is a higher price. And how do you get there? Now, if I would have bought in this video that I'm going to review later, the guy literally buys on his system about right here on the chart. He gets in here and he says, that was a winning trade. And the guy in the chat room says, how'd you like that 500 pip sell-off? So the idea that you're, this is where the money management thing comes in, the risk ratios. But it's difficult because if you start to succeed at trading, you're going to have issues. It's almost worse to make money than it is to lose. If you lose, you don't change your lifestyle, or maybe you do. You have to sell your house, like Mark Douglas, sell your car. But you have this free therapy session. It's called forced awareness. At least that's what he called it. I thought it was an amazing phrase. Forced awareness. In other words, once you blow up the account, you're like, you have to really wake up. This is if it's, you fake or real money, right? If you were aiming at a target, you're like, I missed that target so bad. What was I? So you have to examine yourself. But I'm just trying to save people a little bit of punishment and say, if you decide that you want to be a pro football player, realize that you're probably going to have to save up money to fix your knees later on, and you have a very short window of performance, and you should know that going in. And I love all those cute disclaimers. You could lose money. People put in their videos, like, who cares? Who's watching the internet? Like, who's looking to bust people on that? Well, here's a classic example up here. Support becomes resistance. But taking into consideration this amount of pippage, you really got to put that in the formula. And did you hold, like I said, taking profits is just as bad as setting stops, because what if you didn't ride it all the way down to here? Are you going to kick yourself? Accept all profits up front. Accept all losses up front. It's not a trade till you exit. Unrealized profits, that's the trend traders' demise, where they ride this move, comes back and trounces them. Anything above here, the sellers are coming in. Sellers are coming in here to trade the pullback. And they're coming in here not so much because this is a double top, it's because we haven't seen this price in a while and there's liquidity up here, and every 100 pips that goes up, I guarantee you people are selling into that, otherwise it wouldn't go down. There's more sellers. It's an order imbalance. I'll give you the fact that if you place a sell stop here with this particular system of trading, you would have made money on this with a 100 pip stop or a 200 pip stop. You would have made 1,000 pips. There's no doubt. How many times you see that being a trap, though? If I would have done the same thing here, said I'm loading the wagon, buy stop, they trounce me, I'm in too big, I just blew up that account. Next problem. The fact that the market's consolidating and getting quiet to me, this is the only time frame comes into the picture. If I want to take advantage, if I'm only allowed to trade this one currency, I've got to drop down to a smaller time frame where I can see where the ebb and flows are. And maybe I don't want to trade this time frame. I want to go to the 1 hour. I'm looking to get in where everybody is looking to get out. Where everybody's getting stopped out, I'm getting in. So I'm taking money, I guess in essence, from do-gooder retail traders that are trading the... So people have their... if they're short here, their protection's here, so I'm going to place an order there to sell and last all week up at the top here, just for the pullback scalp. You have to realize that if you want to make 100 pips, you have to wait a long time. So if I put an order here at the round number, just around the round number, not the exact same price, and I put that in there, you have to have the discipline or the patience to get filled on that, have the market come all the way back to the non-Fibonacci round number here, and you do that trade. Or maybe you're going to sell on the 50 handles. Now you could put 50 handles on here with a 25 stop and make 50 pips all day long too. I think you'd be able to see that. This is a 50-yard line. 50-yard line. Sell at the 50 with a 25 pip stop to make X, to make X, to make X. And this whole thing about, oh well, you got to back test that. You don't have to back test a 35 pip stop that makes 70 pips. You wrote the trade plan. They say there's a lot of true cliches. Plan your trades and trade your plan. I plan the trade. Now I'm going to trade my plan. I would scalp off this all day long. This top. I also would put my order, and they weren't able to achieve the 100-yard line here, notice. But look at this juicy top bottom right at the 100-yard line, where a bottom on closing prices only, forget the wicks. Markets are done frame by frame. In this is a doji support at the 100-yard line. Your sell limits are sitting here. I have an Alexander Elder E-ray called Elder Ray. It's in here under bull and bear power in your thing. It's called Alexander Elder, Russian Jew, drives fast in his car, and he has a very simplified mechanical system, pretty much. And Jesus, a dog fight down here. So listen, neighbors, when you have a dog, don't bring it to visit your other dog if they don't like each other. But he's just okay, I lost my thought. But Alexander Elder, mechanically trading that, he's going to tell you that well, let the market prove you right is one of his great things, and that I guess he's a trend trader, but the thing is that these markets don't have a oh, wait a second. Anyways, I'm totally distracted by this dog fight, so I totally lost my train of thought. So I just hate to, but the way I talk, anyways, I'm never on topic, so I guess it wouldn't matter. That's my fractal. I'm just scatterbrained, but these are all my orders in here, and the reason why I'm not getting an update on this one currency pair, because it's literally not moving. I have not got an update. It's not traded yet, according to this broker, Australia, New Zealand. I don't know if they're on vacation. And my Singapore dollar. So I'm just gonna get out of this stuff. Oh, apparently the broker's closed. Okay, that's always a bad sound. I don't know what this broker's not trading. Maybe they haven't opened up their trading yet. I have no idea. I thought I saw it moving earlier. But this is another reason why demos and live money is very. But don't expect the live account to run like the demo. And another thing is that your demo account may be on a server that's so smoking fast, but your real account is on a lame server, a slow server, your execution would be totally different. But if you have pending orders, it wouldn't matter. It would only matter to a guy that's trying to be you're going to be a scalper, you're going to trade the market, and you're going to be one of these, I'm just going to trade in front of my screen. But you don't have to do that. So this demo is really about proving that you don't have to be there for the trade, which means that you are going to plan your trades and trade your plan, because you're just going to place your orders out there and let the chips fall where they may. So here is the pound New Zealand. I guess none of this stuff, this broker's not even open. I don't know how I got out of that trade. And I saw a tick chart moving here. None of these currencies are moving on here. I mean, I don't get it. Okay, this broker. Okay, we just traded this currency. So here's one. So here's my buy limit sitting here on the pound CAD. What cracks me up is when I see these people looking for the Gartleys. It's like looking for the hot chick in the bar. Don't forget, this hot chick in the bar could have a family of 15 sisters that are all out of their fucking mind. So just because it looks like a good pattern doesn't mean you should hook up with that currency pair. Like, who hasn't seen the perfect Elliott wave? But it doesn't mean that you can go out hunting for Elliott waves everywhere. And this is kind of a I'm looking for a girl with blonde hair and not a giant ass. And so if your checklist is like that, you're really leaving on the table the fact that it might be a cute psycho babe that's going to be better fit. So I wouldn't want to. You can over filter, and so that's the problem I have with the Fibonacci handles and all that. Is the next thing you know, you're already thinking of like that there's some type of, and this is what I can't believe this is true, that oh well that's what the institutions are using, so you should use that. I mean, if the institutions were all using the same proprietary algorithms that were so profitable, the market would stand still. There would be no fluctuation in price because everybody would agree. And that's typically fair value. You see it on the screen as a fair value where the market is sitting at center point. But there's a strategy for that. When the market's quiet, you want to enter on stops and breakouts. When the market's loud, you want to enter on limits back towards fair value, typically. And sometimes without regard to how many pips it's moved or where you're at. But this grid trading stuff is a good place to start. And if this works, what's worse, making money and not knowing how you did it, and losing money and not knowing how you did it? You want to know, if you made money, you're like, God, how did I do that? I want to do that again. And so maybe you did make money and you were on the wrong, say you thought it was going up, but you accidentally sold and it goes down and you're like, damn it, I made money. And that's the first time when that happens to you, you'll be like, wow, look at that, I made money and I was wrong about the move, but I'd made a mistake in the trading and I made money. Very bizarre kind of feeling. And they're like, oh boy, this is making it more complicated. So the complications, it can really spin out of control as far as I went against what that guy said. I made money on a counter trend trade, and should I really be counter trend trading? I mean, it's almost like, they make it sound like it's like molesting children or something. And well, the trend's your friend, and well, you know what? I mean, if you're good at counter trend trading, stick with that. It doesn't mean you can't trend trade. I was with a trend trader once, and I spent about a week. We were trading something, and I said, I think I could trend trade this with you. So I got in the market on the pullbacks, and I'm like, yeah, this trend trade. I was in the trade for like a week and a half, and I go, God, I made like 200 pips. I can't believe it. I mean, now it's really it's a personality fit. So you need to trade a lot of demos and a lot of real money, small accounts and real money if you don't have a bunch of money to blow for entertainment purposes, and then you'll start to discover your trading personality. And you have to since everybody's trading personality is unique, I don't think anybody's going to trade like I did. And if you wanted to clone the trades I'm doing, I don't know if it's going to help you, because if I were to expire and die, how are you going to? So I'm trying to show people how to fish, not give them fish. And the thing is that I don't feel good about. Well, it's just too much of a responsibility and a burden in a way. I wouldn't want to sell a trading course to somebody because I wouldn't know where to price it. And since I'm making money trading, why would I want to sell a course? And like I said before, it's like if you knew how to coach somebody at something and you're like, why aren't you a singer? I mean, this girl from Canada, when she would sing, she had a backup singer that would come in if something happened. It was just as good, if not better, than her because she had copied her. And but nobody's going to come to see that person's name. So even if you copy somebody, and you might sabotage your account because you don't feel like, I'm just kind of trading somebody else's thing here. And I know there's, your ego is going to have a problem with, I'm just trading somebody else's trade plan here. So my ego is pretty big. So when I see stuff, I'm like, I don't know about that. And I've actually asked Bill Williams in person. I said, why aren't you getting in here in the market? He says, well, because we don't do that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the better trade. But they don't want to hear that. So people that have built a whole world around a certain system, if it's not broke, they don't fix it. But I'm always breaking shit and trying to rebuild it. Like, I guess if I buy something, I'm thinking, can I modify that to make it better or to make it the way I want to see it to be? Now, if you're going to lose a little bit of money, but it's going to be something that works for you, that's fine. If you're not getting all the trades, but you're like, okay, this is a good fit. Now, if the boredom kicks in and you start to act out in over trading and you start to, because you have a need to express yourself, and that's why I do YouTube videos, is to express myself and just concretize it to myself and go, yeah, you know what, this works. And the demo account's like an exercise, and I don't really care if I blow up the account or make from 10 grand and I make, by the end of the year, I'm at 100 grand on this account in micros. Of course, some of this is hotkey executed. I haven't launched any hotkeys tonight. These are all hand placed. But if I did launch a hotkey, and this is a whole different style of trading where you're literally saying, I'm going to buy for the next 3 hours, I'm going to buy every 10 pips as it goes down for 50 pips with a master stop. That's a whole trade plan in that one key. So every key is its own trade plan. Now, I have traded this account in that manner, and I might do it when I'm done with the video. I might come in and say, you know what, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to throw a grid out there randomly, just a random grid. I mean, certainly the round numbers, we know that's a big psychological area. If you pick any currency pair, I don't care if it's Euro CAD. Notice the respect for the 100-yard line. I'm going to blow through these and wrap this up. This is 100. Is this 100 here? Is this 100 rejection? Is this the 50-yard line? So if you're a 50-yard line trader, gridiron trading, does it work all the time? Nothing works all the time. Does your size matter? Yes, it matters. This top becomes the bottom on that wick. Had you had a pending order at this triple top, this is Sunday. Nice thing about this program, you see Sunday is the... Here you never got filled on your buy limits. Here you had to accept to get into the 50-yard line. Hopefully you bought the new lows. Fresh liquidity here. And all the stop bots probably if you have a stop bot that runs on a 16-hour chart, he got filled here. He made his money. I'm speaking here just as a limit traded account. I don't have any stops in here. Not even breakout stops. So I'm not trading this. This is a limit strategy account. I can have a stop account. So I might set up a stop demo. I have stop demos here I'm running, but to publish it seemed like a drama. FX Blue looks like it's easy. I'm going to try another demo, but you don't have to make more money trading than you make in your day job. But if you want to transition, my view has always been that the better I get at trading, the more if one of my old clients calls me and wants me to do a project, I can pick and choose whether I want to go back to what I used to do, which is being a commercial artist. And so, people have projects. I'm an artist and I love doing art, but I had to take that and play music because another thing you could do, and this is just a pro tip, that if you're over trading and you play guitar, just play scales while you're watching the market, or make food while watching the market, or scribble and do paintings. Some of the best trading is to have the monitor in front of you and just watch the market. Not watch the market, not stare at your screen. I mean, I guess you could do draw trend lines and all that nonsense, but you'd be surprised how when you get into a trance or meditation mode where you're just sitting there doodling on paper and you look up at the screen, you're going to have an intuition and a gut feeling like, okay, we're finally near my entry. I see they're not filling me at the 100-yard line. I still like this trade. Like, see this 50-yard line thing? And you have a triple bottom. After this, when you see this bottom, you already know you should be placing a buy limit here because that's support. You don't need anything fancy there. But I understand the complexity worship because people say, listen, do you think those people in those big buildings are just going to sit in their pajamas and place an order? They're wearing suit and ties. They're very serious. And it's funny because in the ads, if you go looking to be a musician, they go, only serious people need to apply. Well, come on. Are you a serious trader? I'm like, well, I'm seriously dysfunctional. Does that help? But even here, from here to here, sideways back to here, if you're in the, I'm going to say just for your stop, mechanical stop entries, made money on that, got a little trapped here. If you sell into this and you have limits here, you're making money as it's coming down, and maybe you got out here. Your account goes flat, you're in no trades, you're waiting for your buy limits to get filled at the round number, and you realize that there's definitely support here, but you're willing to scale in. This is where all or nothing is a problem for some people because they're like, but I don't just want to date this girl the rest of my life. I want to marry her. So they get married to this entry here, and they're like, I don't have enough money left to get in and scale in. You need to, if you're going to have a harem of women, you're going to pick them out one at a time. You don't just go and get, nobody has, these guys or these polygamists, they don't have 20 wives on one day. They accumulate them. And you got to be the market. You have to be the accumulator during accumulation phase, and you're going to scalp some of this stuff. Who's not going to take their 10 to 20 pips and run on this? This is the 1 hour chart. So I'll rifle through these charts and you just see pips matter. Round numbers matter. Banks have, people are looking to deal at round numbers. You don't see people lower the price from $5 to $4.79. They go from $5 to $4. It's on sale. Come and get it. It's an auction market. Dollar Swiss, not a lot of volatility. Look at this 4 hour thing at the round number. Wow. But this is the trade I'm talking about. If you drop a pending grid bank or just hand place orders to buy new lows here, who made money on that trade? Top, you should have buy limits sitting here. Did you take some heat? You might got stopped out of something. Never made it to the round number. Here, definitely a round number winner. Round number winner, round number. Again, the wick is brutal, but so projecting the long-term stuff of this is not necessary. You can be a scalper. This really is scalping. Euro yen. Now this is highly volatile. You get killed doing this thing if you're used to a normal. You have to trade with wider stops. But once again, round number, almost exactly the round number there. And if you start selling, if your sell limit's here to get out here, who's going to sit here and queue up a fucking moving average and a Gartley and a fib on this shit? Are you out of your fucking mind? Why would you waste your fucking time with that shit? You should be wasting your time writing scripts. This is where I just get so pissed off. Can't people see that the only way you make money is by trading? So put my order here at the round number. Put my order here, a different order here with a 50 pip stop at the round number. Then I put numbers here. New lows. We're going to buy new lows all week on this. So if this broker ever opens up and starts trading, some of these pairs are not trading. I swear to God, I'm in instruments that are not trading. These other instruments are trading. I can tell because if I go here, I can see the Sunday. So here we're going to buy. These are all preset. We're going to scalp off this round number. I don't care where it's at. I don't give a fuck what the monthlies and weeklies say. I wouldn't look at the. I don't care. Look at this entry at the round number. Look at this fucking trade. Did you have to be here for this? Look at that. 300 pips. Sellers coming at the round number here. Come on. I actually had Jason Stapleton about a year and a half ago. I ripped him apart, and he said in the comment section, maybe his system does work. Well, I guess this is my attempt at proving it on this demo. So I'm going to call this Forex Demo and date this one for today's date. But yeah, thanks for the question here. And I am trying to refresh people. I'm just trying to say that what you're seeing right now, and I've studied not just the market, I have studied people's approach to the market. Since the internet has really ramped up and YouTube is available, I've noticed this whole thing. And because the technology is there to run NinjaTrader and all these gorgeous looking Gartleys, that people are getting lost in a fantasy world of ciphers and bat wings and saying advanced patterns. Like, it wasn't bad enough you were trading patterns. I talked to this guy, this trader down in near the equator. He says, well, trading flags is bullshit. Well, yeah, because if you don't know, all patterns will. I just can't tell you. I've met a lot. Come to think of it, I've met a lot of traders on YouTube and talked to them on Skype, and they'll say stuff. Well, it's been proven that the engulfing pattern is the most highly profitable candlestick pattern in the world. And I'm like, that's complete bullshit. Think about it. An engulfing pattern on the 1 hour chart may be a hammer on the 4 hour. And you're going to tell me, well, hammer patterns don't work. Listen, how tight is your stop? Did you place your stop on the wick? The fact that people are saying those patterns don't work, are they waiting for the completion of the hammer and buying at the market without a stop? I mean, what? It's so bullshit to say something like that. It's so contextual to the pip range of that currency pair, the ATR of that pair. When this thing's crushing down, like somebody running from a burning building, your crack core just left the meth lab on fire. The round number comes all the way down to this round number, and there's bounces off round numbers all along the way here. I mean, this here, this is the daily chart. If you're trying to trade with tight stops on this, you're going to have a problem. The range matters, but this is opportunity. When the market stalls out and goes dead at the 100-yard line, it's not going to go. What we do know for certain is the market's not going to trade sideways for the next 40 years at this price. That's the cool thing about trading. It's either going up or down. How do you get on this train? It's how you get in that. Now, if you got in that on the clock, if you got in there limits at the round, you did not get filled. If you got in on limits because of this 50-yard line, you did get filled. If you bought new lows, you got filled. If you bought on a breakout of this, or the ATR gets very small here in the daily, and you trade a breakout, you made money. And like I said, uh, having a stop loss, the take profit is just as important as the stop loss. When do you stop losing? When do you stop winning? If you're just looking to double your money and you're right, you should be right at least 80% of the time. I don't go for this shit where, well, you can be right like 51% of the time if ratios together. Are you fucking kidding me? I wouldn't want to manually trade that thing. I'll leave that for the bozos that have their holy grail systems. It's just about price. There's a threshold. If you said that you can buy a car for 10 grand right now, I don't know if you can buy a car for 10 grand new. But I'll tell you what, if all the cars are going for 15 grand and I come up with my car for 10 grand, people are going to go, you know what? Even if it sucks, I'm buying it. And that's what you like. So even, I don't know. So I hope that helps. Yeah, I get pissed off because I just cringe when I see people asking questions like, but if I have a retracement of, I'm like, what are you talking about? How does that helping you? You've got to define your risk up front. I want to put a 15 pip step down here for the scalp. If this thing comes down here this week and there's a fight down here, I don't have to babysit this thing to see what my RSI is telling me. So I'm trying to approach the market in just a sheer price thing. So my sells, I'm going to place the sells now. First I come at the round numbers. Slightly different price here. You can have all sorts of these scripts written for different clusters. If you only want to risk 5 to make 8, fine. This is the effort, the passion is placing these. It's like dominoes. Now I am going to let this thing ride. I was thinking about closing all winning trades if I double this account. I was thinking about that today, but I guess I don't know if I can look at all these pairs but I want to put my sell at this wick top and at the round. So that's an obvious trade there. Obviously you want to sell up here. Obviously you want to trade the first stop hunt on the north side, and I like buying because I'm a romantic, so I like to see things go up. I like to see things get, I feel that's the whole reason I do the videos, because I'm trying to help people trade without, I understand people, okay, if you found a girl in the bar and you went out and had sex with her in the car, for some people they're like, you know what, I don't know if I like that. I'd rather pay because I feel like then I can be myself. I'm paying for the right to be ridiculous with this girl. Whereas if you take a girl out and you have sex with her, and maybe the sex isn't as good because you're afraid she's going to fall in love with you or something. So when you pay to learn from somebody, you feel like you've got skin in the game. This concept of having skin in the game, and okay, well, I paid for my course in learning, and I did it because I do believe that I will pay somebody. I've studied a lot of martial arts. I paid people thousands of dollars to show me the style of martial arts. But the whole reason I actually did that was so I could be a better trader, because I was just going to analogize everything from martial arts into the market. So the samurai creed from martial arts is today's a good day to die. And the samurai Forex approach is today's a good day to lose. So I look forward to losing, and people would say, well, that's a bad attitude. No, because I've accepted my losses up front. This is an exercise that I did with Mark Douglas, where you write a check for $100 and you take your losses up front. Now you have a carefree state of mind. You basically go, samurais win because they accept death up front. They have no fear of losing or dying. They're focused. So you write out, I don't know what I loaded into this account. I don't know if I could blow this account up now. I've been placing orders while I've been talking, and I'm placing orders that are left over from last week, and these really do last a week. So in 5 days or whatever have you. So we're always going to sell the top of the wicks. We're always going to sell at the round number. I don't know if we'll make it up here to these nosebleed sections here, but see, sometimes you don't. I'll go for some, here's the good old pound versus, I put this up here because this is the system that this guy built. Here's your classic system, just to show you how fucked up moving at 50 simple moving average here. On the British pound, take a look at this bullshit. RSI 5 period on the bottom with a 50 RSI. I know RSI inside out. Anybody wants to trade RSI, I can show you how to trade RSI. Don't recommend it because it's very complicated. But look at this 50 EMA thing. I mean 50 simple moving average concept of well, we're in an uptrend, so I buy. Here's a prime example in the British pound. Uptrend, I buy. Okay, I got a good fill here. Alexander Elder entry. You buy at the here, and Alexander puts his stop on the top and gets picked up in the confirmation off that moving average. Works out okay here until you get your nuts crushed. We're above, according to this guy's rule set, if you're above the 50 EMA, you're in a bullish market. You should go long. Here's whatever Brexit. Nut crush. Now, what was more important was price. And I'll say it once, I'll say it a million, I've told you once, I'll tell you a million times, the market cannot see your moving averages, it can't see your Gartleys, it can't see your fibs. The fact that the institutions trading off fibs, maybe they are, but which time frame, which fib? And if you go watch Jason Greystone and all these bozos, they got fib handles. Like, I saw a guy once in a chat room. I said, well, let me see your screen. He sent me a screenshot. And it looked like this. This is how many fib handles he had. And I said, well fucking hey, why don't you just throw orders out there then? And this guy that asked me this Dave Gibson guy asked me this question. I would say to him, my experience in this style of trading was the fact that I placed an order years ago down here. And they went down and filled that thing in 4 hours, and 20 hours later, the market actually went all the way to here. And maybe these are 50 pip handles, but it was on the euro yen, and I was like, holy shit! I had no stops. It was just there was $80 in the account. It was $160 in the account. I made $80 on a 3K. Market went screaming up, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. So this, and that wasn't an accidental trade. That was built upon the concept of, I'm sure you've heard this before, buy low, sell high, buy low. And that's all the markets are. The fact that this could have happened in 40 seconds or 40 days, that's the disturbing part. When people see moves like this on the 5-minute chart and they buy into that thinking, oh, you said buy low, sell high. Yeah, but hopefully you're getting stopped out of something here and you're not in so heavy that you just blew up the account. So it does, volatility matters and price matters. I don't know anything else that matters. I don't know if they're ever going to trade these other currency pairs. So here we're going to sell up there. I'm going to put a place, I don't know if we'll get filled up here, but we would just naturally place all these orders up here. So that's all I got. I hope that helps. I'm going to try to update this on, publish this under demo, and then put the link to the demo account here. Hopefully people can see it without having to log in. I hope it's set to public viewing, but market's dead right now. Waiting for the other side. The dollar Canadian's going up. It's the only thing I see in here. All right, well, if you made it this far, thanks for tuning into my trading, my view of the market. But yeah, it's going to be some crazy week here, and the elections are coming up. But I think the British pound could just keep tanking here. This looks like a good buying opportunity down here. So. All right. Good luck with that.